give a little life update. So this is probably going to be a long video. I don't know how long. I don't know. It's just going to be, I might split it into it's going to probably end up being 3 videos, honestly. I'm going to kind of go through things that happened last year and moments that I wish I had vlogged, but I didn't. Actually, I have some videos from December. Okay, so the last video I posted was December of 2018. It's right after my cruise that I went on with my friend Julia, like right before Christmas. But I had actually recorded some after that I never posted. So I have a couple videos from December of 2018, and then I have a few clips here and there, and then like right before Christmas. But then after Christmas I just stopped until February, when I found like one clip of me talking about going to my brother's wedding and possibly vlogging it, but then I didn't vlog it. So, and then like nothing after that. So I mean, I took videos here and there. Like I have some footage from stuff from like the wedding and from other things, but not a whole lot. So I might put that in like where it, like, you know, kind of go in a chronological like timeline, kind of explaining my life events. Let's see, where do I begin? I guess I'll begin with December. So I'll put in the videos from my concert that I went to in December of 2018. I saw Anne Boleyn, 2 guys from Anne Boleyn. Well, I'll just show you the clips. My coffee maker is officially dead, broken. It doesn't work. I press the button and it gives me like this much coffee. I do it again, it gives me like this much, and I'm like, I've like tried running it through without any K-cups in there. I've tried letting it sit unplugged like overnight to see if, because sometimes it like doesn't work and you just like unplug it, let it sit for a while, and then it works. But no, it still doesn't work. So yeah, that's fun. Thankfully I had some like cold brew in the fridge, so I just drank that. But I want like a nice hot cup of coffee, you know? It's just not the same like when you want a hot. What are you barking at? This is what he was barking at. Okay, look, it's just a package. It's just the mailman knocking on the door. That's all it is. I wonder what it is. Probably a Christmas present for someone. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, my coffee maker. And it's almost Christmas, and my sisters are coming on Friday, which is 2 days from now. And I don't have a coffee maker, so sorry guys. Guess we're not gonna be having hot coffee. I do have an espresso machine, but that one has been like, I need to clean it out or something because it's been getting like black specks. Anyway, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I hope that Santa gets me a new coffee maker for Christmas because I need one. And I just bought coffee from the Bahamas and I tried it and it was so good and I want to drink more of it, but I can't because I don't have a coffee maker to make it in. The struggle. I'm on my way to go. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I bought VIP tickets to meet members of the group Anne Boleyn, which I have a shirt from when I went to see them a couple years ago. It was like 4 years ago. They went on their final tour and they're like, oh, we're disbanding as a group. And I was so sad. I was like, oh no, but I got to see them live once and it was like amazing. So they announced this show to the lead singer and one of the guitarists is gonna be, oh, road closed. Okay, I guess I have to go this way. They're going to be doing like a smaller, more intimate, like acoustic show, and I got a VIP ticket so I get to meet them before, so I'm so excited to get like some pictures, and I'm bringing 2 CDs that I have of theirs, so hopefully they'll sign them for me, and it's gonna be amazing, so I'm really excited. I'm going by myself, but you know what? I don't care. I love them, so I'll see them myself. If I have to go alone, whatever. It's gonna be a good time. And then Hillary, Millie, and Melanie will get here tomorrow, and then Christmas is only in a few days, so it's gonna be a good couple of days.
As may bring life, love, free and sing, but life is in discord. Praise ye the Lord. But who's gonna call us Sunday morning? Who's gonna die? unstable, you're like an unwinding cable car. Listening for voices, but it's the choices that make us who we are. Go your own way, even seasons have changed. Just burn those new leaves over. So self-absorbed, you seem to ignore regrets that have already gone. But this is the correlation of salvation and love. Don't drop your arms, don't drop your arms. I've got your heart, the quiet words I lead you with. La 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 la.
I realized I never vlogged after, I feel like I'm losing my voice. But I realized I didn't vlog after the concert last night. But it was amazing, and so I met them and I was like, oh, thanks for doing the show, blah blah. And then like I asked them to sign. I have like 2 CDs from like years and years and years ago. So they were signing those and I was like, hey, are you guys gonna play the Unwinding Cable Car tonight? Which is like one of my favorite songs. And they looked at each other and they were like, and I was like, oh, that means no. I was like, okay, fine. So I like wasn't expecting it. But then like in the middle of the show, the guy's like, the lead singer's like, he was like, somebody down here in the front requested this song before the show. So whoever that was, this is for you. And I was like, oh my gosh, are they gonna play my song? I was like, oh, please, please, please. And then they started playing it and I was like, yes, that was me. I requested it. It was amazing. I was like, such a great show. Anyway, now I have to work, and Hillary, Millie, and Melanie are on their way right now driving. They left this morning at like 5:30 a.m. so they should be here sometime like 8-ish p.m. maybe 8 or 9. I don't know, which is good because I can get a full day of work done. I can like clean. I have to go on a run. Yeah, so I'm excited. It's gonna be a great weekend, and Christmas is on Tuesday, so woo!
So that happened, and then my sisters came, and we like were hanging out, Christmas, all that stuff. Didn't vlog any of that. New Year's, it was really fun. I went out with some friends, had a good time, bringing in 2019, which is crazy to think that now it's 2020. Like, I can't believe it. What? How? So then, January, I went on a company trip to Bullhead City, Arizona, which I had never really been to Arizona before, so that was interesting. It was kind of right on the border of Nevada and Arizona. So the weirdest thing was so we stayed in an Airbnb, which was like right across the river from Nevada, which they were in different time zones, or I think Arizona doesn't do daylight savings or something, so they were an hour off. So it was so confusing the entire time because my phone kept saying that it was one time, but then it was not that right. Like it would be pulling from a cell tower across the water or something. So like we would be at the Airbnb and it would have the Nevada time, then we'd go across the river to like get dinner or something, and then it would switch back and I'd be like, I don't know what. So I had to change it to automatic, or not automatic, I had to change it to manual, change my phone time to manual so that I would just update it every time we went across, because I was like, I cannot handle, no. So I have some videos from that I'll put in so you can see. We went to this little town called Oatman, Arizona, which is on Route 66, like winding through the mountains, like desert, typical Arizona roads, I guess. But there were donkeys, well, I guess they call them burros there, but they just kind of were roaming the streets, and it was like, oh hey, like there's just, donkeys roaming the streets. So I have some videos of that, and then a couple other things from that trip, but that was a fun trip.
Hey, buddy. What the hell? Cookies?
Oh, they're coming back.
Oh no, They know the source.
We gotta keep it going though.
They know the source.
Oh, now the seagulls. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go up there with Larry now.
I saw one of them in the water. I'm like, I'm not staying around down there. It's like an alarm. Wow, look, the seagulls come now.
Look.
Feed him. Throw some bread.
Look at his teeth.
Well, no, because he'll give him a hole in it.
And then I did a lot of traveling last year, and I went to a lot of concerts, which I do all the time. So that's not really anything new. If you've been watching, you know that I go on a lot of, or go to concerts a lot. And I don't know if I went on that many trips in 2018, but not as many, that's for sure. Well, maybe I did. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I hope you can hear me. I'm driving, and I hope this is okay. I just figured this was the easiest time to do it. So February, so during this time, like I think I mentioned it in my previous videos that I was training for a half marathon. So, because I started the training, yeah, when I was in San Diego at the Catholic Answers Conference in September of 2018. I remember going on a run there and talking about training and stuff, I think, I don't know. Anyway, I was training for a half marathon through all of this because that was in February of 2019. So, but February, the first week of February, I was just starting up my longer runs for the training because the marathon or half marathon was only a couple weeks away, so I was like getting into like actual like long training runs. But my hips started bothering me, which I was not happy about because I injured it back in 2016 and it was not fun. It was really painful, and I didn't go to a doctor or anything in 2016 because I just kind of rested it, and it got better after I got new running shoes and I rested it and stretched it out, and then it got better after a couple months. But it came back. I think it was because I was running on old running shoes. I had the shoes for like, since the first time I injured it, I bought those shoes and I had them for like 2 years after that, 2 or 3 years after that. So I started my longer training runs, so I was running on them more and they were worn out, and it just I wasn't stretching properly enough, and I wasn't doing very well with my training. So I injured it again, and this time I went to the doctor because I was like, okay, maybe like they will have something for me to do to help this. But basically, I mean, she was like, yeah, it's your IT band, and you can go to physical therapy if you want. Like, it might not be that beneficial, but you can try it. Or she gave me a list of all these stretches to do, and basically just rest. But this was a few weeks before my half marathon, and I was like, I'm doing my half marathon. Like, I'm not gonna not do it. I worked this hard. I made it this far. I am doing the half marathon. If I have to walk the whole thing, I am doing it. So anyway, sorry, that just got really intense. It's weird remembering, like not reliving, but like talking about all the stuff that happened like a year ago. I can't believe it. So I stopped running. I stopped my training completely because I was like, I can't keep running on this. I knew I was still going to run in the race, but I knew I had to stop training, so I stopped training. And I was trying to stretch every day as much as I could just so that I could at least run some of the half marathon. That was like 3 weeks away from that. But the week before my half marathon is when my brother got married. So I went up to Virginia. It was Valentine's Day weekend. They got married on February 16th, 2019. So I went up for that weekend to Virginia. I was a bridesmaid. I have a couple videos from me and my sisters were all bridesmaids. And I have a couple videos from that I'll put in so you can see random like Snapchat videos, or I don't know. I didn't really take that many videos from that trip. But I'll put in what I have so you can see.
Please come back now. There goes my mind racing, and you are the reason that I'm still breathing. And oh, my soul so weary
finish line, I cannot even describe the emotions and the feelings that were like present. Like I was just so proud of myself. I was so, even though I was in intense pain, like it hurt so bad. Like I could barely walk. I mean, I could walk, like I was fine. Not fine, but you know. I was upset that I couldn't run as much of it as I wanted to. It took me 2 hours and 55 minutes to complete 13.1 miles, which was a really long time. I had to walk most of it. It honestly hurt more walking than it did running at times, but I just couldn't run more than, like I started out, I think I ran the first 3 miles, but then after that, I had to stop, and I was like walking a little bit, running a little bit, and then I tried to time it so that I could run the last mile at least. So I ran the last mile, or I think so, I can't remember exactly the distance at the end, but I was running across the finish line because I was like, I know I have to run across the finish line. I cannot walk across the finish line. So I crossed the finish line, and I'm just like, such relief that I did it and completed it. Like the accomplishment, such a feeling of accomplishment. I was like, wow, I just did a half marathon. Like that's a lot. 13.1 miles is a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I was like trying to imagine doing a full marathon, and I was like, I can barely finish a half marathon. Like one day, it's on my bucket list to one day complete a full marathon. I will do it. Just, you know, my body might not be so happy about it, but whatever. It's fine. They'll just have to deal with it. It'll be fine.
There's Christina. Go, Christina! Looking good, looking good, looking good. Oh, Christina, we're so proud of you! Is she gonna make 3 hours?
Oh, the crowd. Oh, she definitely did
She's
because
finished.
she definitely did because it's when she started.
Oh yeah, okay. All right. Woohoo!
After the half marathon, I couldn't really rest because I had signed up for the Skyway 10K, which was literally the next week after that. Sunday, I think it was March 3rd, I think was the date. I can't remember exactly. But it was a week later, so I rested that week, but I was still pretty sore by the next week, and I had to waves that you can sign up for. I think there were 4. There was like a 5:30 wave, a 6, a 6:30, or it was like 5:40, 5:30, 5:45, 6, and 6:15, or something. I don't know what the times exactly were. No, 5:30, 6, 6:30, 6:45. I don't know, something like that. But we were the 3rd bus wave, which actually worked out perfectly because we got there and we were able to get on the bus. Everything was fine in the morning. Like, we got there, we got into the little corrals, and they're like, okay, now you guys can get on the buses. So they guided us to the buses. So we got on the buses, and then they bussed us to the start line. So then we got off, and we're walking, and I look up and I see like all the people that have been waiting there since super early, and like the people who were on the first, like they hadn't started the race yet. There was no information on what time the race actually started. There was only information on what time you were supposed to get on the bus. So I was like, what time does the race start? Like, does the race start at 8 a.m.? Because like a lot of races start at 8 a.m. So if we have to get on a bus at 6:30, like, does that mean we're going to be standing there for an hour waiting for the race to start? Or like, what? So like, it was very confusing. So we were walking up to the start line, and they were just starting one of the waves. Like, I think they had actually started the race in waves too. Like, they had, but they were closer together. It was like every 10 minutes they were sending the next group of people through. So we heard them like getting ready to start the first people. And this was probably, I can't remember what time it was, 7 a.m. maybe by this time. So I was like, the people who were on like the 5:30 wave, they must have been sitting there waiting for a long time for them to actually start. Like, that, I'm glad we signed up for the wave that we did, because if we had signed up for an earlier wave, that would have been, we'd have to get up early. Yeah, no, a mess. They finally start, and it's a really fun race. I really enjoyed it, the actual racing part, until the end, when they ended up running out of water on the course. One of the water stations like had no water, so I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. They'll have water at the finish line, so I'll just drink it then. I finished the race, run across the finish line. There is no water in sight. I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I just ran 6 miles. I'm like, where the heck is the water? I'm thirsty and I need to drink, because you ran out of water on the course, so where's the water at the finish? There was none. The water was on the buses. They had little water bottles, well, not little, they had regular sized water bottles on the bus. So you couldn't get the water until you got on the bus to get back. But the thing is, there was no organization for how you get back on the bus. Everybody was just kind of like swarming around the buses, trying to get on, because everybody wanted the water, everybody wanted to get back to their cars, everybody wanted to go home. They're like, okay, we're done, like, we're so done with this, we just want to go, we just want to go. But there were no lines, there was no organization, there was just kind of like a sea of people swarming around the buses, like shoving their way in, like literally, like, it was crazy. I was like, oh my, can we calm down, please? So we wait, we finally are able to get back on the bus, and there's like a warm water bottle there, so I'm like gulping it down, because I'm like, oh my gosh, finally some water. But it's like disgusting and warm because it's been sitting on the bus, like. But it just was, it was such a mess trying to get, like, that whole process was like, what in the world? But overall, like, it was a fun race. I didn't do it this year because I was like, no thank you, I don't want to deal with, maybe in a couple years if they organize it better, then I will do it again. But once was enough for me for now. So it was a cool experience. I'm definitely glad I did it. But for those reasons, anyway. So that was March. Hold on, I have this list because I was trying to remember everything that happened. Did I forget anything? February, no. Okay, March. Oh, I was going to talk about Lent last year. Because last year's Lent, it's Lent right now. Easter's on April 12th. Oh, traffic. Easter's on April 12th. So Lent last year was probably one of the best, most fruitful Lents that I have ever had. Just basically these last few years, I've just been growing really close to God, like closer, strengthening my relationship with God and stuff. So it's just been like, it's been crazy. So last year's Lent was like one of the best Lents. I don't remember everything that I did. I know, so I was trying to go to daily mass once a week, at least once a week, adoration at least once a week. And then I had a list I wrote out every day, like all the dates that were going to be during Lent, and I chose a different person every day to pray for. Like, so for example, like everyone in my family. So like one day I'd be praying for my mom. So I'd wake up in the morning and just like say a quick prayer and just be thinking about her and praying for her all day. And then I tried to pray a rosary every day for that person too, which I did really well last year with that. I maybe only missed like 1 or 2 days without praying the rosary. I can't remember the exact, but it just like I just felt really good about my prayer life last year and how it increased through Lent. And I kept the daily mass every week. I kept that going like a whole year. Like I've been going at least once a week. I might have missed a couple weeks here and there, but for the most part I've been going at least once a week since last Lent. So it's been really good. What else? And adoration, I've been trying to go to adoration once a week too, at least. So that's been really good. But basically it was a really good Lent last year. I felt really good about it after. Let me check my list. What else do I have to talk about? So April. I'm just kind of going through. I think I'm going to split up the video into like the first half of the year. So like December 2018 to like May/June 2019, and then like June till now in another video. And then there's going to be a whole nother video that I'll explain later. So April, my friend Connor, Deacon Connor now, but he started the young adult group at Christ the King at my church, and he's the one who like asked me to take over as one of the leaders. So he was in the seminary. He spent his pastoral year at my church, so that's when he started the young adult group, which was 2018, the very beginning of 2018, I think. Yeah, it was beginning of 2018. I have a couple vlogs I talked about going to events and stuff. Oh, so he was getting ordained as a deacon in April, the first week of April, but it was going to be in Boca Raton, which is like a 4-hour drive. So he invited me to go, and then there was going to be a reception at his parents' house that night in Tampa. So it was like in the morning, the ordination, and then come back and then his first preaching mass was going to be the next Sunday. So I was like, that's a lot. Maybe I'll just go to the reception after, and then his first preaching mass, and not go to the ordination. But one of my other friends, Matt, he really wanted to go to the ordination mass, and I was like, okay, well, I don't want to make him go by himself, because then I would just feel bad, because I was like, I can easily go, like I can make it happen, I can go. And he was driving, so I was like, okay, like if you're driving, then I'll just kind of tag along. And we stayed in an Airbnb on Friday night, got up, went to the mass, which was amazing. I'm so glad I went. So glad I went to it, because it was an amazing experience, and I'm so happy for him. And this May, he's getting ordained as a priest, and I am so excited. Definitely going to that one. That one's going to be in St. Pete at the cathedral, so I'm really excited for that. But I'm really glad I went. And then so after the mass, we drove back to Tampa. I had a little bit of time before we had to go to his parents' house for the reception. But that was like a pretty busy weekend, because then that next Sunday we went to his home church, his home parish, where he said his first preaching mass. Like he was the deacon, assisting the priest for his first mass. So that was really special to be able to celebrate with him and be there. Then later on in April, the Keys. I went to the Keys with some of my friends. 7 of my friends, so there were 8 of us. This is gonna be a long video, man. I'm not gonna go into all the details of all the stories, but I'm just gonna give you the basics. So I went to the Keys with 7 of my friends from church, and it was trying to plan a trip with 8 people is kind of crazy, so I do not recommend it. It was a really fun trip, but I was like, I don't know, maybe I would go on a trip with like 4 people, but 8, that was too many. Too many. So we went to the Keys, and it was really fun. I'd never been to the Keys before. We stayed in an Airbnb in Key Largo, which is kind of so it's like Miami, Key Largo, and then Key West is like all the way at the bottom. There's other stuff in between. So, oh, by the way, I sprained my wrist. That's why I have this on. Playing soccer. Woo! So much fun. So we were staying in Key Largo, and we were gonna just go. It was like a Thursday to Sunday trip. We drove. We rented a big van, a big 15-passenger van. It was the exact same van that my family had growing up. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is bringing me back to my childhood road trips, like driving in the van. It was crazy. But wow, I'm terrible at telling stories. Where was I? Oh, so Thursday we got there kind of late. Well, like 9 p.m. I think is when we got there. 9 or 10 p.m. So we didn't really have time to do anything Thursday night. So Friday we had rented a boat, and we're planning on spending the whole day on the boat. Plans changed. It was very choppy, and we ended up hitting a rock and bending one of the propellers on the motors, so we kind of got stuck in the middle of the ocean. Well, no, we weren't in the middle of the ocean, but we were probably like 8 or 9 miles from shore, and we were stuck. We couldn't, like, we tried to go, but it was like, it wasn't going. So we're in the middle of the ocean. We can see land like way off in the distance, so we weren't like completely in the middle of nowhere, but we tried calling the Coast Guard, and they were like, oh, do you have anyone injured? No. Do you have food and water? Yes. Do you have any like children? No. So they were like, okay, sorry, like, we can't help you. We were like, oh, thank you. But I understand, because like we weren't in danger. The boat wasn't sinking. Nobody was hurt. We had plenty of food and water and stuff. So like we weren't in any immediate danger where they needed to like drop everything and come rescue us. So I'm like, okay, if there's somebody with like a real emergency, go help them. So they gave us a number for a tow company to come. So we ended up calling them, and then a guy came out with a towboat, and I think I have a video from the towboat, or of the towboat towing us away, so I'll put that in. But oh my gosh, that was a fun time. I wasn't that worried because I knew like the boat, we weren't sinking. It was probably like 3 p.m. so it's not like the sun was going down. There was no storms coming in. I felt fine. I started feeling a little seasick because it was very choppy, but I just sat there and looked out, and like I was fine. I knew they were coming to tow us away, so I was like, okay, we had cell service, like we weren't completely lost in the middle of nowhere. So that was our Friday. Unplanned, unexpected change of plans. And then Saturday we went to Key West for the day. There's a bunch of other stories that I could tell about that, but I'll save that for another day because this is gonna be too long if I include all that. So then we came back Sunday, we drove back to Tampa on Sunday. So it was really fun. It was a fun weekend trip with my friends. I'm really glad I went. Had a good time. Lots of fun. The Keys are a fun place. Oh, but the next thing is, so that was the last weekend in April, and then the first weekend in May was my friend's baby shower in Pensacola. So 1 week I'm in the tip of Florida in Key West. A week later I'm in the other tip in the Panhandle, like at the very end in Pensacola. So I went through the entire state. Florida is a huge state, okay? I don't know if you've driven through the entire state of Florida, but it's a big state. Yeah, it's a lot, because it was probably like an 8-hour drive from Key West to Tampa, I think, ish, maybe. And then, yeah, it's like an 8-hour drive, I think. And then from Tampa to Pensacola is like another 6 or 7 hours. So like literally it's a lot. It was a lot of driving. We drove to the Keys, and then I drove to Pensacola for the weekend to see her for her baby shower. So I'm really glad I went. I got to see her. I hadn't seen her in a while before that, so it was really nice to catch up a little bit, spend some time with her. And I still haven't met her baby. Her baby was born in July, and I'm so excited to meet her. Hopefully soon. Now she's like 8 months old. I'm like, ah! But so that was a lot of driving, but it was fun. And yeah, and then a couple weeks before that, I was driving 4 hours to Boca Raton for the ordination mass. So it's like, I did a lot of driving in April and May of 2019. Man, that was a lot. That was a lot of driving. I was trying to remember what happened in June. Honestly, I don't think I took any trips in June. But Lauren Daigle. I think I saw Lauren Daigle. I probably went to a concert. I mean, I go to concerts all the time, so honestly, they kind of like blur together. I don't remember which ones. I need to like make actually I do have a list, but anyway, I'm getting off topic.
Just ignore, I look kind of like a hot mess right now, but whatever, it's fine. I just wanted to, I didn't really have a good cutting off point. I mean, I did, but anyway, this is me saying that this is the end of the first life update video, and then the next one will be the rest of the year. So yeah, stay tuned for that.